There was a time when cartoons weren't about lessons or fancy graphics. They were simply about making people laugh with pranks, slapstick chaos, and silly adventures. Let's take a trip back to when cartoons were pure comedy. The spirit of cartoon mischief. Classic cartoons were built on mischief. Characters didn't hold back. They lived to pull pranks on each other. Whether it was a chair being swapped out at the last moment, a bucket of water waiting above a door, or a cigar exploding in someone's face, the humor was simple, but it always worked. The beauty of these pranks was that they relied on timing and surprise. The audience knew something was coming, but the characters never did. The result was endless laughter. Pranks in these old cartoons often turned ordinary moments, like a picnic, chopping wood, or setting a table, into hilarious disasters. A match could start a fire in the wrong place, a hot dog could explode, or lemonade might spill all over the guests. The gags were exaggerated, but that's what made them funny. No one really got hurt, and everything reset in the next scene. It was a world where comedy ruled above logic. April Fools and endless gags. One of the funniest themes in these classics was April Fool's Day. It was the perfect excuse for characters to prank each other non-stop. The tricks weren't just about laughter, they were also about showing personality. The prankster was clever and sneaky, while the victim was proud or too serious to notice. Watching that battle of wits play out was part of the fun. The message was simple: don't take yourself too seriously. If you fall for a prank, laugh it off. That lightheartedness is what made these cartoons so endearing. Even when a character was embarrassed or tricked, by the next episode everything was back to normal, ready for another round of fun. Superstition and silly fears cartoons also loved to play with superstition. Characters would stumble into classic bad luck signs, walking under ladders, breaking mirrors, or crossing paths with black cats. While one character panicked, another laughed it off, insisting there was no such thing as bad luck. That's when chaos struck. An umbrella opened indoors would lead to falling objects. A black cat crossing the path would trigger a chain of accidents. These stories made fun of how humans often blame silly superstitions instead of admitting accidents just happen. But the exaggerated disasters made sure the lesson was never too heavy. It was all comedy, wrapped in chaos. Love triangles and comic rivalries. No classic cartoon would be complete without a love triangle. Usually, two characters competed for the affection of one leading lady. Each rival tried to outsmart the other with gifts, tricks, or outright sabotage. Sometimes the rivals would even pretend to be supportive friends, only to double-cross each other in the funniest ways. These love rivalries were more about comedy than romance. The exaggerated jealousy, the over-the-top proposals, and the dramatic gestures all turned love into a game of slapstick. Whether it was a wedding gone wrong or a date full of mishaps, audiences laughed not at the idea of love itself, but at how foolishly characters behaved when chasing it. Patriotic fun and holiday chaos. Old cartoons often tied their stories to holidays. The 4th of July was a favorite, with fireworks leading to endless gags. Characters tried to keep celebrations safe, but kids or rivals always found ways to sneak in dangerous fun. Firecrackers exploded at the wrong time, picnics caught fire, or hot dogs flew through the air. The patriotic theme gave cartoons a chance to mix comedy with tradition. Even in the middle of chaos, the message was cheerful. Holidays were about joy, even if they didn't go perfectly. By exaggerating the dangers of fireworks or rowdy celebrations, cartoons poked fun at the way people sometimes went overboard with their traditions. Detective stories and mystery parodies. Another favorite theme was the detective parody. Cartoon characters would suddenly take on the role of private eyes, complete with trench coats and magnifying glasses. They'd be tasked with protecting a valuable gem or solving a crime. But instead of solving the mystery smoothly, chaos followed them everywhere. Doors slammed in their faces, suspects slipped away in plain sight, and every clue led to more confusion. Yet somehow, by pure accident or luck, the detective solved the case in the end. These episodes poked fun at the serious detective dramas of the time, replacing tension with slapstick humor. Everyday life turned upside down. One of the most charming things about old cartoons was how they made everyday life hilarious. Something as simple as trying to get a good night's sleep could turn into a full adventure. A mouse making noise, a leaky faucet, or a loud neighbor became battles of willpower. The character just wanted rest, but comedy refused to let them have it. The humor came from exaggeration. A tiny sound became unbearable. A small annoyance grew into chaos, and a desperate attempt to solve the problem only made things worse. These relatable frustrations turned into universal comedy that audiences of all ages could enjoy. Food fights and restaurant rivalries. Food was another endless source of comedy. In some cartoons, characters ran competing restaurants, each trying to steal customers from the other. They bragged about better meals, fancier service, or special offers, only to sabotage each other in outrageous ways. Food gags were especially fun because they combined slapstick with creativity. Spaghetti tangled up characters, hot soup spilled at the worst time, and steaks flew across the room. Even eating a simple meal could lead to disaster. The silliness reminded audiences not to take competition too seriously. After all, it was just food. Why these cartoons still matter? So why do these old, simple cartoons still make us laugh today? The answer is timeless humor. They didn't rely on special effects or complicated plots. Instead, they focused on universal experiences: jealousy, bad luck, mischief, rivalry, and everyday struggles. Everyone could relate to these themes, no matter their age or background. The characters never needed deep development. They were funny because they were exaggerated. The proud one always got tricked. The clever one always pulled off a gag. And no matter how bad things seemed, everything reset for the next adventure. That predictability, mixed with creativity, gave audiences comfort and joy. These classics may be old, but their laughter never fades. They remind us that sometimes life doesn't need to be serious because pure comedy is timeless.